What's good, family, man? It is your boy Mal.
And Sade, and we're back at it again with another video.
Man, today got ready in the Glow Gang versus OTF, the beef in Old Block, man. We heard about it just a little bit, but it wasn't nothing too crazy. Remember when they said Dirk and Chief Keef had gotten into it?
Oh yeah,
it was like
yeah.
we did it like maybe like 4 months ago. So, like it was old.
A while ago.
But let's get into this, man. This Hip Hop Daily, man. Y'all already know y'all be liking the Hip Hop Daily. We bring it to y'all. Y'all be watching it. Y'all be going crazy over the Hip Hop Daily. But let's get it.
The war in Chicago between the BDs and the GDs is well documented, but only real fans of Chicago drill know about the war in O Block that involves Chief Keef's Glow Gang and Lil Durk's OTF. Let's take a closer look at this beat.
So weird though, they all
Chief
cool.
Keef and Lil Durk are the two biggest rappers to emerge from the Chicago drill scene in the early 2010s. Even though they grew up together and were affiliated with some of the same people, the two are rarely seen together and haven't collaborated as much as you would expect. This is because around the time that they were both blowing up, they had a falling out after Durk was arrested and Keef refused to pay his bail. Both Chief Keef and Durk grew up around the same area on the south side. Keef grew up in the infamous O Block on the 6400 block of South King Drive. Durk grew up nearby in the Inglewood neighborhood and even spent some time living in Parkway Gardens. They're both affiliated with the 300 set of the Black Disciples, but Durk also has his own gang called OTF, or Only the Family, and Keef has his...
I really want to know, do people really consider OTF a game?
Gang.
It's not a game. Well, I really don't know. It might be a game, but I feel like he
I
really
was gonna
did
say
it for like...
to us it might not be a gang, but to them it might have started off as a gang. Like when
Yeah,
he first said it might have started off as a gang, but now he probably want to make it more like music wise.
brand,
yeah,
and more than just a gang. In my opinion, that's how I look at OTF more as like a... Even Glow Gang, I look at them as like a music brand other than like a gang. But, you know, some people like, you know...
That's what
it
I'm
be
saying.
game before it be music.
Yeah, that's what I think it was. I think when he started saying it started off as a game, but I think now that he's into music heavy, I think now he's trying to make it transition into like
music.
his music thing.
Yeah.
his own called GBE, or Glory Boys Entertainment.
GBE.
They were all cool with each other early on and would collaborate on tracks together. But all that would change in the summer of 2013 when Lil Durk would get arrested on a gun charge. On June 5th, 2013, the Chicago police got an anonymous tip that there was a man with a loaded gun walking around the area. They showed up to the 7200 block of South Green Street in the south side and found Lil Durk standing beside his car. When police approached him, they claimed that they saw him throw a loaded 40 caliber handgun into his Hyundai Sonata. Durk was then arrested and charged with unlawful use of a weapon by a felon. He had been caught with a gun once before in 2011 and sentenced to 3 months in jail, which was his first felony. So when Durk was arrested again, just 2 years later, the charges would be even worse, and Durk was held on a $100,000 bond. Even though Durk had just signed a deal with Def Jam, he was still early in his career. He would need $10,000 to be able to post the bond and didn't have the cash at the time. So he reached out to Keef for help, but for whatever reason, Keef
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Chief Keef could have gave this man $10,000, bro.
Now I was just about to say I didn't remember him saying in the last video.
I thought it was 100,000. The last video we watched.
Yeah, and then I don't remember him saying that Durk, you know, like personally reached out to Chief Keef. That's different. That's a different situation.
I feel like he could have gave him, especially with like
and he
like
probably
everybody
was,
say gang affiliation is
yeah,
different.
he probably was gonna pay him back though, because they said the way Hip Hop Daily making it sound is like he said he didn't have the cash at the time
because you know he just signed.
Yeah, so he might have. Yeah, so he might have been like, "I'm gonna give it back." But even if he wasn't, I mean, he reached out to you to ask him to help him like this. You know,
it's kind of messed up.
If you got it to spare, then I would say, like, you know.
Nah, Chief had it, bro.
Yeah, that's
what
I'm saying.
He definitely had it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Fans also noticed that while all the other notable BDs like Lil Reese, Fredo Santana, L.A. Capone, and Rondo No. 9 tweeted something in support of Lil Durk when he got arrested, Chief Keef stayed silent. Instead, Chief would tweet OTG, #OnlyTheGlow. This was clearly a shot at Durk, as his label and rap group is known as OTF. Many took this to mean that Keef wasn't rocking with Durk because he wasn't GBE, and therefore he wasn't responsible for what happened to him. Durk eventually posted bail, but it would take over a month. It's rumored that Durk had a rough time in Cook County because of his affiliations and got beat up pretty badly, but he would eventually end up getting out in July 2013. After being released, Durk would tweet, "I'm back. Did you miss me or you ain't care? I'm free." These are lyrics to Keef's first day out freestyle, and many assume that he was taking a shot at the rapper for failing to pay his bail. Keef would just double down on his earlier stance and tweeted, OTG. This would get under Dirk's skin as he let off a wild Twitter rant that exposed the beef to the entire world. First, he shouted out Lil Reese and Fredo Santana for being 100 and not hashtag FUFU. Clearly, throwing more shade at Keith, who is Fredo's cousin and homies with Lil Reese. He also tells Keith directly that he would have been killed if it weren't for 300. It's not clear if he's talking about a particular situation or if he's just saying that Keith wouldn't have survived in the South Side without his boys, but he had beef with his former friend. He kept going, tweeting, "All the money, but you can't go get hashtag D Rose. LOL, bad enough he on your ass already." D Rose was one of O Block's main shooters and was close to both Keith and Dirk. Keith has mentioned him in several songs, and D Rose was considered a legend in Chicago for the work he put in on the streets. But he got locked up in 2012 and didn't get out until 2014. So Dirk was throwing shade at Keith for giving him props in the music, but then not helping him post bail. Especially because at that time, Keith was one of the biggest rappers in the world. He also followed up by tweeting, "If you squad, then why you ain't get T Slick or D Rose? You got a bigger deal, right? Hashtag FUFU." T Slick was another street legend in Chicago who grew up with Keith and Fredo. He was arrested for aggravated discharge of a firearm, and it's been rumored that he was either protecting Keith at the time or he took the charge so he wouldn't have to go to jail. To this day, Keith's profile picture on Twitter is T Slick's mugshot, which proves that Keith clearly has some loyalty toward him. But according to Dirk, Keith turned his back on both D Rose and T Slick after he got rich and famous.
Oh, that's what that was on his mugshot on his Twitter, bro. That dude look extremely fat now.
Do we?
Yeah, eating good, man. You know, they be eating. I don't see how people say that people in jail eat bad, bro. I think well, I'm gonna say some be eating good.
Yeah, but you know, some of them get that from working out, cause you in there and you don't have. That's what I'm saying. You in there and you don't have nothing to do but work out. A lot of them, you know, they go in skinny then come out and they be super big.
Yeah.
Famous, even though they had his back growing up. He also told Keith he couldn't return to his own neighborhood, tweeting, "Where are you gonna spend it? Because you can't come around here with it." Finally, Dirk finishes his rant by saying, "Warning, I'm not hashtag Soldier Boy. This shit can get ugly." If this were 2021, Soldier probably would have jumped into the middle of this beef for the free promotion. But 2013 was a different time, and Soldier probably didn't want any more problems with rappers from Chicago. Early on in his career, Keith had ties to Soldier Boy. At one point, it was even rumored that Keith might sign to his SODMG label.
Now, what's your future projects? What you got in store for the people?
Shit, sign with SODMG.
What you say? You signed with him? Oh, that's what's happening, man.
But not long before the Lil Durk beef popped off, Keith and Soldier would have a falling out after Keith's homie Ball Out allegedly robbed Soldier of his prized Jesus piece. Keith responded to Durk's rant by tweeting, "Just bought a 2013 four-wheeler for $10,000. $10,000, of course, was the exact amount of Durk's bail. He would also tweet, "I'm nothing else. I am O Block. And can't believe nothing for the twit. That's crazy. Know damn well I know you just like you know me. Goofy ass used to be Brick." What he meant is that Dirk can't ban him from O Block because it's his neighborhood, and that he can't believe the rapper is spazzing on Twitter when they both know what each other is capable of doing. King Von later shed more light on the drama between Keith and OTF. He explained that it started before Dirk even got locked up. Keith refused to pay the bail for another dude from...
I know it said something... I remember they said something about Chief Keith getting chain snatched by one of them. I think...
yeah. I don't know.
No, it was somebody that was affiliated with them.
Yeah, I think.
They tried to take Keith's chain or something. I don't know. Or took it.
O Block named Trey 5, who was allegedly Von's brother. They were trying to raise money for his bail, which was $25,000. They already had about $18,000, so all they needed was an extra $7,500. They called Sosa to see if he could help out, and he said he just spent $7,500 on shoes, so of course he could help. But when they called him again a week later, he kept telling them he had it, but never actually came through and bailed him out.
Supposed to go chain because they allowed to say you'll get some money from my homie Vaughn, right? Like say we call him, and we ask him for money and shit, he say he gonna give it to him, right? So we say our homie booked the shit, his bond $25,000. We got 18,000, we need 75 more hundred, right? So the say, "Oh yeah, that's all y'all need. I just spent that shit on shoes." Alright, right. Why you say it like that though? Now we call him again like a week later or something. Then what's up with that money, gang? Like, you know, we trying to get folks out. Yeah, how much I need? We need 7,500 and shit. That is a minute ago. So now you get that. Folks get that. What do you say? Yeah, 7,500. I just do that shit in the club and shit. Ooh. So I'm gonna see folks. I'm gonna take folks' chain off his neck and shit. I'm gonna take folks' shit. to go get the bomb money.
In May of 2013, GBE, OTF, and another set called Mubu, that's affiliated with rapper King Louie, had a joint concert. Some OTF affiliates decided to jump Keith for refusing to give up the $7,500 for Trey 5's bail.
It's crazy that today his own. Well, I mean, but it's gang affiliated though.
Yeah.
It's like his own people jumped in and take his own
Yeah.
stuff.
Even though he recently signed a $6 million deal with Interscope. During the fight, Keith's homie Fallout ended up getting his chain snatched. Although the rumors are that it wasn't even his chain. It was the Jesus piece he snatched from Soulja Boy. Backstage, they cornered Durk because they believe he initiated the fight. Lil Reese even choked Lil Durk for getting Ballout's chain snatched.
No, I been knew you was going on with her. I was right there when you choked Durk. You telling me I don't know what's going on?
Then, Durk would get locked up for the gun charge about a week later. At this time, the beef between O Block and OTF was still small, which is why he reached out to Keith to help pay his bail. But Keith was probably still mad.
Hold on, I was just finna say. Hold on, pause, wait a minute. Now, Chief Keef was probably still mad, because how you gonna take his chain and then a week later you get locked up for a gun charge that was affiliated with all that happened? That dude not finna give you no money to get you out of jail? He was probably still mad.
Yeah, I remember they said, I think he had got his chain. Remember what we were just talking about?
Yeah.
I think he had got a chain snatched first before all that happened. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think I'd do it though. If I got my chain.
No, I'm just saying, I can't say what I would do, but I'm saying like Chief Keef, like Hip Hop Daily said, he was probably still mad. He had just got his chain stole from him, from y'all, from some people that's affiliated with y'all. Then you go to jail on a gun charge, and you gonna ask me for $10,000. Like, nah, he wasn't gonna get that to that man.
TF was still small, which is why he reached out to Keith to help pay his bail. But Keith was probably still mad that Durk's people tried to jump him, so he refused to pay the bond. But Durk probably felt like their relationship was stronger than that and started to question Keith's loyalty after he got the same treatment as Trey 5 and D Rose. After the Twitter fight, the beef died down for a while. Apparently, they spoke on the phone and came to an understanding. It still seemed like there was tension, but it wasn't going to resort to violence. But not long after supposedly squashing the beef, Lil Durk would post a track list to his upcoming album with the caption, "My fave song off #Signed to the Streets." The song that was highlighted was called OTF Chief Keef Diss. This diss reignited the beef on Twitter, and Durk and Sosa would continue going back and forth. Then, Keef would repost the cover to Chirac to LA, a Lil Durk diss track by The Game and Tyga. After that, Keef did a song with Tyga, who Durk was beefing with at the time. So Durk responded by doing a track with the Migos, who Keef and GBE were beefing with.
I forgot Keef was.
Durk even brought the Migos to O Block to shoot a video, which was clearly meant to get at Keef. The beef would reach a climax after a couple of O Block goons allegedly broke into a house being rented by Keef and snatched his chain. In late March 2014, Sosa was set to appear in court for one of the legal situations he was facing. While he was in court, a crew of dudes from O Block, including Boss Top and OJ, as well as a few members of another BD
but
set.
This beef really kind of, I'm sorry y'all to be pausing it, but this beef really kind of petty. Like, they ain't, like, it's a good thing they ain't trying to, like, kill each other and nothing like that. They just really, they doing petty stuff to each other.
Yeah.
Dudes from O Block, including Boss Top and OJ, as well as a few members of another BD set called THF, broke into a home that was being rented by Keef and his former manager. They ransacked the house and stole tons of valuables, including designer clothes and sneakers. Keef's former manager, Brandon Zerer, was in the home at the time and called 911. Keef would later call him a soft-ass on Twitter for calling the cops. Keef showed up while they were still home, which is when Boss Top allegedly snatched his signature Johnny Dang chain, and OJ snatched a chain from GBE Capo. A shootout followed, and a 33-year-old named Terrence Smith was non-fatally injured. Boss Top and the other BDs then stole Keef's car and fled the scene. Keef brought Terrence Smith to the hospital, but refused to cooperate with police, so no arrests were made. A police document from the Gang Enforcement Division was released after the shooting and stated that the Black Disciples were having an internal conflict. The crazy thing is that before this all went down, Keef and Boss Top were close. Keef even gifted Boss Top a Burberry shirt that he was known to wear everywhere, so much that Mubu Crump would even put out a video clowning him for it.
Everywhere.
Why every time we see you out here, you got this same Burberry
Sosa get the shirt, never take the shirt off. Billy.
Why you gonna take the shirt off?
Billy Sosa get the shirt, never take the shirt off.
Billy, huh?
Billy.
Also on Billy, huh?
But money and fame can turn even the closest friends against each other, and it seems like Boss Top sided with Lil Durk for the war in O Block. That same day, Keith and Boss Top would go back and forth on Twitter, with Keith tweeting, "I clothed you, B, and put money in your lint ball pockets. And I ain't nothing like these, but we look alike. Way higher form and fashion, and I'm loyal. I was giving little dirty folks in them clothes." He also dropped a wild bombshell, tweeting, "Folks, they stole KK clothes out her room. Detergent, deodorant, and all on Bloods. They stretched that shit, alright." KK is Keith's daughter, and in this tweet, he's telling the world that they didn't just take adult designer clothes, they took his 3-year-old daughter's clothes and random household items like deodorant and detergent. Keith even called out Boss Top by name, along with his former producer, Young Chop. Boss Top responded by posting a picture of a gun on IG with the caption, "GBE," and told Keith to come to the hood that you say you from. He would also later release a music video where he can be seen flexing with Keith's stolen chain. Plus, not long after that, Dirk would drop a video with another Chirac Savage, THF Bezu, dancing around with Capo's stolen chain, while Keith's Close That Door video plays in the background. Keith would respond to the video by saying, "I would say OD, but I'm from there. That's my boy."
Who would say OD, but that's my boy. You feel? I'm from there. You know? O Block.
OD, of course, refers to OD Perry, the dead BD that O Block is named after. OD is allegedly Boss Top's cousin, but also a well-respected dude from the neighborhood, which is why Keith said he would say it, but it doesn't go as far as actually doing it. Several BDs from O Block had to check Keith for taking it too far, and Sosa didn't respond after that. But surprisingly, after that, things started to cool down. Keith finally left Chicago for good and moved to LA. He and Dirk would continue throwing shots at each other for a few more months until they officially squashed the beef in August 2014. That month, Dirk would tweet, "It's back. OTF x GBE. Chicago, we back at
all
it."
that just to make a Twitter post and say
Bro,
we back.
this be so.
Yeah, shoot at each other, steal each other.
Mind.
I mean, but it's part of the streets, man.
Yeah.
Guys are really different than girls, though. It takes a little longer for guys to become very cool than girls. But I don't know, man. That's crazy.
At Chief Keith, my brother, #300. And Keith would confirm the truth, tweeting, "Hey, at Lil Durk, what you on, bro?" Durk later explained in an interview that they eventually talked for a few hours over FaceTime and they put it all behind them.
It's good, though.
Since then, there hasn't been too much drama between the two camps. Keith and Durk would collab on the track Decline in 2015 and haven't dissed each other again in music. So, this is one beef from the city of Chicago that actually has an ending. Even though Durk and Keith still don't seem to be that tight anymore, they seem to be able to do their own thing in the industry and stay out of each other's way.
Yeah.
Luckily, the beef never got out of control, and they were both able to settle their differences and move on with their careers. If you thought this video was crazy, be sure to
That's good, though. Like, dude said, like, at least it ain't come down to, like, they was able to end their beef.
Yeah, like, they able to be cordial. Like, that's what a lot of people got to understand. You know, you can have beef with somebody and all that, but y'all don't have to be where y'all was. Like, if you don't trust that person on that level or, something like that, like, y'all don't have to be back in that same, y'all don't have to have that same type of relationship that y'all once had. Just be cordial and call it a day.
Nah, they went through a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, they did.
Stealing clothes, robbing each other.
Yeah, stealing clothes and all that.
Choking each other out. It was a lot, man. Yeah. Man, if y'all enjoyed this video, y'all want to see more like this, man, and y'all also, man, DM us videos, bro. I said video ideas. Y'all DM us videos, man. We'll try to react to them, man. But other than that, man, y'all already know what to do, man. Please
like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications, subscribe to all three channels.
Follow me and Sade both on Instagram, man. Brother, man, we out of here.